Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. Hello, Choco Dog. You're not late. We just started. Hello, everybody. My name's Tracy. If you're not familiar with me, this is Zoe's Treasures. I usually say I'm here with my husband, but I am in Dallas and he is in Pennsylvania. So I'm not here with him, but he is still running our show and doing all of our cool graphics. Good morning, Southern Charm. Hello, I see so many familiar names. I cannot going to be able to read them all, but two peas in a pod. Jenny, PC, hello, hello. So Wednesday morning, what's going on? What is everybody up to this Wednesday morning? I have a few things to talk about, but not a whole lot. So anything you guys that are on your mind, let me know and we will talk about it. Good morning, Jennifer. Let's see, what's going on today? We are in Texas, so I am in Dallas. I am waiting for my coffee. Surprisingly, I'm in a very okay mood right now, but I did just place order for room service to get breakfast and coffee. I will have to stop in a couple of seconds just to go answer the door to get my coffee. Um, what else? We have $4.50 shipping today. There are items in the auction tab. Thank you, Choco Dog. I have to look a little more professional. I am at a conference, so I can't wear my normal sweats and t-shirts or sweats and hoodies that I can when I work from home. I am at a conference and it is for educators. Well, not necessarily educators, but for those of us that write trainings, specifically accounting trainings. I am here, going to be here through Saturday. I go home. So our next couple of shows will be remote shows, and I will be home Saturday morning, and we have a glowy glass show on Saturday. If you are interested in anything today, like I said, there's a few things in the auction tab. There's some stuff in the bin. Check out the show notes. The rewards cards for today's $5 free money is in the show notes. I like getting education too. So I'm looking forward to all the classes. Like we got to pick, they have a bunch of different sessions that are offered and I got to pick which ones I want to go to. So I'm really excited about that because I feel like I'm going to go learn things that are very relevant to what I do on my 9 to 5 job, but also what I do here on Whatnot. So I will probably be bringing some of these gems of knowledge back to you guys in the next couple of weeks. However, the part that I don't like is everything is like, come to this networking breakfast, go to this networking happy hour, go to this networking dinner. And that is not me whatsoever. I don't enjoy the networking part. I know, I would say, I know nobody here. There are two or three other people from my firm that are here, but that is it. But they're in completely different departments. So it's not even like people that I have ever even met in person before. Anyways, I've just talked to them on Teams. So I don't enjoy that part. I do it. It's part of my job. I just, grin and bear it. But I don't. I'll do like one networking dinner this week and that's it. I won't go to all of them. All right. What are we what are we talking about? Oh, you know what I decided yesterday? Thank you, Juggernaut. What I figured out yesterday on the plane, which I kind of already knew this because I fly a lot. And so I kind of already knew this. And I want to know which one are you? Which type of person I'm about to describe do you identify with? On airplanes, you have two types of people. And that's it. I don't even think there's a middle ground. I think there's two types of people. There is the person that gets on the plane and they puts their earbuds in and they're like, just let me be in my own little zone for this flight. And then there's the person that gets on the plane and they are going to make best friends. They're going to get off that plane with the best friend that they have ever made in their life. And by the end of that flight, you and just about everybody else on the plane has heard their whole life story. And I am definitely the earbuds person. I see a few other earbuds people. I even have two hoodies. I have two of my favorite hoodies that I wear. Um, I'm on the one CX Making Friends. I have two hoodies that I specifically use for flying because they have extra big hoods. So I get on the plane, put my earbuds in, pull my hoodie down over my face, and I'm just like, leave me alone. Um, love to be one, but naturally number two. 43, drugged and trying not to panic. Yeah, I used to be like petrified of flying, petrified. I have canceled flights at the last minute because I was just too afraid to get on the plane. Like I used to completely freak out over flying. But then I got this job and I've had to do it so much in the last 6 years that I've just kind of got used to it. I tend to think when I get on the plane, because I'm the type of person that I don't think we were meant to fly. If we were meant to fly, we would have been given wings. I don't have wings. I'm not supposed to be in the air. Same as I feel that I'm not supposed to be in the middle of the ocean because I don't have like scales and gills and whatever. So, however, you got to get places. I figured once in 35,000, it's out of my control. That's how I figure I for beauty. I tell myself, because anytime the plane starts getting into turbulence, I tell myself the pilot and all the people working on this plane don't want to die any more than I do. They are doing everything they can to keep themselves alive. Therefore, I feel like they're going to keep me alive. I don't even care if they think about me. Even if, as long as they're thinking about themselves and they want to keep themselves alive and they can land that plane safely, I'm good. I can go with that, and that gets me through. So, I did sit next to this girl. I did not talk to her except to, when she said, "Excuse me to use the bathroom." But I was just, I don't know. You ever see somebody and you just observe them? I'm a huge people watcher, and she was a young girl, probably a college girl, and this whole flight, it was like a 3 hour flight. This whole flight, she's in there with her old school planner, and I just kind of melted my heart because I'm super old school with my planners. And this was a young girl, and she was with her old school planner, and glimpsed over at her laptop a couple of times, and she must be a college girl. Looked like she was looking at some type of course. And it just, I don't know, it was just like the sweetest thing. She was there with her old school planner, like mapping out due dates. It looked like she was looking at a syllabus of some sort. Yeah. Good morning, wise old bag lady. And I am sure that's why you came on my show this morning, to hear about some random girl on a plane. Anyways, let's talk about something else. Let's see. Let's get a giveaway going. Today we are doing CEO affirmation cards. Exactly. So we are doing CEO affirmation cards. We do have a few pre-bids. We will get to those in just a few minutes. I have not necessarily news, because it's not my news, it's Whatnot news. Did you guys see the email from Whatnot? I think it came out yesterday, possibly the day before, where it talked about its changes to terms of service and some of the things that are coming. Or maybe you saw it. Did you read it? Did you know that is why pilots are not allowed to? Oh, well, I appreciate that. I absolutely, I did not know that about pilots, Jennifer, but I do appreciate that fact. If they have my life in their hands, I do want them to make sure that they are doing good. Okay, so I love discounts. They got it, so didn't get one. DoubleTree got it, but didn't read it. There was a lot of stuff that we already know in there. I wish they would highlight the changes. It would make it so much easier to read these things. The two things that stood out to me in there that were like news of things that were important. One we talked about Monday. So one is the cancellations. If us as sellers cancel an order, we are now going to be fined, or not, they don't call it a fine. We will be charged 3%. Um, it's a penalty is what they call it. Either 3% or $3, whichever is greater of the total sales price, for canceling the order. So, and that 3% includes taxes and shipping. So if us as a seller cancel an order, we will now be penalized for that, through hitting our money. That's not new. We talked about that. Well, I mean, it's new, but we talked about it Monday. So that's not the new thing today. The thing that I learned yesterday are from this email. And let me give full credit. My husband read it and then relayed it to me because I was traveling all day. So actually, I learned from my husband reading the email. Is there is a new gamification coming for buyers. So there is a new thing Whatnot is rolling out called Gems, and this is aimed at buyers. And what it is kind of like, think of it when you go to the grocery store and you have the little cards, a little key ring thing, and they scan it, and you earn points, and those points are either like good for cheaper gas or discounts on food or whatever. It's the same concept. So Whatnot is now even going to the next step to gamify Whatnot through their GEMS program. So as a buyer, Whatnot will roll out, and they didn't say when or what they are, roll out different like challenges or things that you can do to earn gems. Those gems can then be redeemed for coupons. I don't know if it's replacing the rewards. They didn't say that it was replacing rewards. So, and I have a feeling it's not, at least immediately, because I got another email on rewards from Whatnot a couple days ago telling me to set it up, but I don't use their rewards. So they had different prizes, coupons. Oh, well, one of the prizes that I thought was cool are graphics. They mentioned you can get emojis. How did they didn't say graphics. They said, what did they say? Reactions. Reactions that you can use to show like during shows. So it's kind of cool. We'll see how as it starts to roll out and people start using them. Curious though, as buyers, it does sound kind of fun. Yeah, I don't think there's anything you have to do. It just kind of happens. It's there and great. Yeah, if I'm just shopping and I just get a coupon for shopping, wonderful. I mean that I'm all for that. Does this though, if you does gamifying your shopping experience make you want to shop more? I guess that's my question to to everybody here. As buyers, most of us sellers also buy. Does it make you want to shop more because it's gamified? Making I love it. Yes. We have a no psychology that will make people say spend more. I think so too. Jennifer, I'm with you. I think the psychology behind it will make people spend more. I'm not a gamer and the gaming part doesn't get me. But if I see, oh, if I spend another $5, I'm going to get a 20% off coupon. That's kind of encouragement to me. But that's just how I shop, how my mind works. Kind of like max shipping, Choco Dog. You know what? You're hitting the nail on the head because that is my next question for you guys. I don't think but subconsciously, yes, yep. I don't see it. No. Oh, you don't see it as gaming at all? I do. I see it as a gamification of shopping. Totally, I see. And they call it gems. Me too. It's true, max shipping. Yes. All right. Well, you know what? I'm really curious to see how it works as a seller. Let's see who's going to get that first giveaway. Wise old bag lady, you got that first giveaway. Congratulations. Good morning, good stuff. As a seller, I'm totally for it. If you're going to do anything to make people buy more of my shows, more power to you. Please go ahead and do it. I love you, whatnot. Keep it up. That's how I feel as a seller. As a buyer, I'm like, I don't think I'm like super into it, but if I get some rewards just by doing what I'm going to do anyways, I can deal with that. I'm okay with that. Oh, I know, Jennifer. I don't want ads neither. That would be awful. I don't want ads. Funny enough, though, we run ads in our show, but our ads are for the things that we are selling. So, as much as I hate ads myself, we actually do little videos that are in essence ads of some sort. All right. Let's go over. I'm going to give my husband a chance. We have three pre-bids. We're going to run those pre-bids and then I have a whole nother topic to introduce. But if there's anything you guys have heard about, has been on your mind, something you saw, some question you have about your own shows, throw it in there. I'd much rather talk about things that are on your mind than going down my list of miscellaneous stuff. All right. Mr. Noel, are you going to move over to show these items? I got to give my husband credit. Look at that. He is playing my role and his role back at our house. I just get to sit here in the hotel room today, but he is doing his job and going over there trying to show items for me. You're taking a break from buying after figuring out how to print my CSV of toll. Oh, yeah, that does it to you, Doubletree. That will absolutely, yeah. I was in Green 13 show the other day and we bought some jewelry and we've hit our spending limits for quite a while after that show.
Good
So,
morning, everybody.
all right, first item up today. We're going to run through these three and then we'll get back to talking about some more stuff. It is a cute little trinket box. It's a little bit bigger than a ring box, porcelain. I out myself in buying this time to, yes, I put myself in buying timeouts. And then what is that marked on the bottom? Does that say Japan? I can't
Uh,
read it. No, there's
no,
nothing.
it's
There's
not.
just a
It's not
little
marked.
mark, like a sticker residue or something.
Hmm.
He needs to get his nails done. All right, we're gonna go ahead and run that. 450
No,
shipping. It's been
my hands are really messed up because of the medications.
yes, his hands are bad. So we're not gonna bring the chat down. But if you guys, so those of you who don't know, Grammy, you got that. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Grammy.
We have coming up next, we have two different hummingbirds cross stitch. They're about 5 by 7 size. They are under
Thank
glass.
you.
They're framed. And give him a second and he'll come over there and show you these. These are really neat. I love these like little cross stitch. I like anything handmade. I'm a sucker for something handmade. except my kids stuff. I was that mean mom that when my kids, like when they were little and bring home stuff, I would be like, oh, that's so nice. And then I would throw it away. I didn't save anything. They get one box each, like one little memory box, and that's all they got. All right, this is the first one. So this is the red throated. Let me make sure I grab the right one right here. Okay.
Are they
It
different?
is the red throated hummingbird. It is cross stitched, 5x7
The
black
the
frame.
red one is this one.
Okay, we'll put the red one up because that's the one I'm doing.
Okay. Give me 1 second then.
My daughter caught me throwing out her work one time. You blamed it on the baby brother. Oh no. That's the best way. I am at the point now I have adult children, and oh my gosh, I think they bicker more as adults than they ever did as as kids. And then one will call me, did you know what this one said? And then the other one will call me, can you believe what this one texted me? I'm like, y'all, yeah, you're driving me nuts. Like, go work out your problems. All right, honey, that's the wrong one, but we're going to do it. I'm just going to switch it. Okay, there we go. We're going to do this guy first. It is a broad billed hummingbird, black frame. Turn it over. Is it hanging or is it one of the ones that stand up? It stands up, but you can hang it too. You can use those little things. 5x7. The frame is not vintage. Pretty sure I don't know how old the hummingbird picture is, but it's been around a little while. Or not picture, cross stitched. We're going to go ahead and run it. That's going now. And it is under glass. You could switch it out. If you don't like the frame, you can always put it in a different frame too. That would be easy enough to do. Grammy, thank you so much. That is heading to you. And we'll go ahead and do the other one. This one is, it matches. It's just a different type of hummingbird. And there we go. That's the red-throated hummingbird. Like it makes a difference. I wouldn't even know what kind of hummingbird it is. It's pretty. And it's running. Yes, I know. But looking at the hummingbird, I would have no idea. It's up and running. I'm dropping my balls, you guys. I know that sounds weird, but I will tell you what I'm talking about in a second. And Grammy, that one's going to you too. Congratulations. Thank you so much. All right, now we'll go back to talking for a bit. Let's see, I got to fix my camera. It's like all funky now. Hold on, it's going to fall. Okay. Have you guys seen these things? These are like fidget thingies. They're like all over the internet. I just got some, and they are like the most amazing things for those of us who like to play with something in our hands. Like that, I would constantly break off these little clips on the pens,
Thank
so I
you.
bought these. I love them. So if any of you are like fidgeters, these things are really cool and they're cheap. But that's what I'm over here. I keep dropping them on the floor as I play with them. Okay, question for you. My big question today is on shipping. Choco Dog mentioned this a little bit earlier, and this came to my mind because there is another seller, one that I really respect and I like. So I'm not going to call this person out in any way, in any bad way, or at all. But they've kind of changed some of their views on shipping, and I found it very interesting. Like I was listening, and I'm like, wow, that's food for thought. It really was something that made me start thinking. As most of you know, I was a big proponent of free shipping. I did it for about 6 months, totally free shipping on vintage. I have now gone to $4.50 and reduced shipping, and I still do free in jewelry. So I am almost since the very beginning have always done some sort of reduced and then free and back to reduced shipping. I really feel that it incentivizes people. Did you hear this talk too? Yes. So the this person after looking at their numbers have decided to do something different with their shipping, which I have huge amounts of respect for, because what do I always say? Look at the data. The data doesn't lie. Do what your data says. So I was super impressed. I'm like, hey, this is backed up by their own data, which is awesome. But I'm curious from the buyers. What do you guys think? If you have the chance, you're shopping, does free, or let's take free out of it. Let's just go with reduced because that's a more common thing. Does reduced shipping play any part in your buying decisions? Does it influence you to buy or buy more? So we have, I mean, just overwhelming, first off the bat was yeses. I haven't seen any like negatives. So it encourages you to buy to even begin buying. Okay. So let's start there. So does it encourage you to buy? We have a lot of yeses. Then once you've bought one item, if it's reduced, does it encourage you to buy more? Fill the box mentality if I don't get distracted. So we have yeses. And I know, I mean, we have 31 people in the room. This isn't a huge scientific poll. I'm just curious of the people that are here. What are your thoughts? Paying $10 for a dollar makes it a no for me. Absolutely. That's a huge part of my mentality right there. The fill the box. Yes, Choco Dog. Um, I want to start looking at this right now. My buyers pay is what you're doing is buyer pays all. Okay. So I'm scared I'll be out of money. Okay. Um, but only items I want. So I'm kind of getting the feeling from reading your answers that reduced shipping does definitely influence either one, your decision to initially make the first purchase, and if there's items that you like, filling the box, buying more items because you like those items because you've already hit your max on your shipping. That's how I feel as a seller and a buyer. As a seller, I feel like I'm giving, I mean, that's an incentive to my buyers to buy, having that reduced shipping. So I found it very interesting. The person talking said that based on their numbers, which again I highly respect, that they didn't see a difference. I want to go back. It's been so long since I have done buyer pays all that I don't know if I even have really good enough data to look at my numbers that way. I don't think I'm not gonna go to buyer pays all. I don't believe in buyer pays all shipping. I feel as a seller, and what I preach on my Friday shows when we talk about these topics are, if you have two sellers side by side, so you're scrolling through whatnot, two thumbnails come up, all things equal. They both are vintage. They both sell about the same type of items. They both are entertaining people. So all the rest of it are pretty much equal. Like you would go into either show and be happy in either show. If all things are equal and one has reduced shipping and the other is buyer pays all, I'm going in the reduced shipping show without a doubt. If I'm given a chance to save money, I'm going to pick the road that helps me save money. The only the only caveat to that is if I'm looking for something very, very specific, like I'm a collector of something super specific and it is very hard to find, I'm willing to pay more for that or more for shipping for that because it's so hard to find. But in general, I don't feel that's the case on Whatnot. If you go at any given day, there's what, 40, 50, if not more vintage sellers, you're going to find almost the same thing. How many vintage sellers are trying to get hens on a nest or butter pats or whatever the most trendy thing is right now? You're going to be able to find most of these things. So unless it's something super unique, and I'm going to call out Eye for Beauty here, he does get very unique, like paperweights and specific glass that's signed by the artist. Those are super unique that you're probably not going to see in a lot of other seller shows. That's something I would pay full price for or full shipping because I know I can't get it easily. If a seller has a lot I want, I will be on a while. Absolutely. Fill the box. If a train or just a couple things, I'm interested. I couldn't care less about shipping. Interesting. So it really depends. So maybe you're saying the longer shows of your favorite sellers, you're like, yeah. But if it's a train and it's one thing you want, you'll pay for it. So I just thought it was a really interesting concept.
Also, keep in mind that depending on how much you have tolerance to the risk, that's how you're gonna either go into the reduced shipping or even free shipping. If you don't have a lot of tolerance for risk, then definitely the the model for your business in terms of the shipping cost is not necessarily something that you want to look at and venture right away.
Yeah, and the risk, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second here. Hold on, dropping my things again. What does Choco Dog say? Choco Dog says, I also consider the shipping in what it's actually worth and whether it's resale or personal collection. Absolutely. If it's resale, I need, if it's resale, I need to get more, like be able to put more in a box. I will pay more if an item is free shipping. Absolutely. Now, when I did free shipping, here's the downfall of free shipping. When I did free shipping, I had sellout shows. I don't think I had not one free shipping show that wasn't a sellout show, because there's no risk. If you're doing dollar starts and free shipping, there is zero risk to the buyer. It is, I'm going to pay $1 for this. If I don't like it, who cares, right? Most of the time, things would get bid up. It wasn't always $1, but the risk was really mitigated on the buyer side. So free shipping always was the best. It's expensive though, and you get that there is no fill the box mentality, and that's the bad side of free shipping. Is there are so many one item purchases that it kills us as sellers. That's why I had to back away from it on vintage. I was getting killed with one item purchases, and after months of trying different ways to encourage two or more, it wasn't happening. Let's see, what else am I missing here? Do you mind giving me an estimate on how much you come out of pocket? We have been doing this for about 45 days and 10 shows, made around 3,000. Found with Love Vintage. So it really depends on what you sell, on what the out of pocket is. I will be completely transparent with my numbers. Not all of them, but in shipping, I've always been pretty transparent about it. When I was doing free shipping, I was paying about 38% of my revenue to free shipping. That was incredibly high. So I mean, that's almost 40% of my profit went to shipping cost when I was doing free. As reduced, I'm down around 19% of my shipping cost of my revenue. So about 19%, 19 cents. Hold on, you guys, I gotta go get my room service. Just a second.
So, and that's what we were talking about, the risk tolerance. If you have enough tolerance for risk and you are willing to go into the reduce or free shipping, then by all means. Because if you don't have to rely on your income to pay your bills, then this might be something you might want to be interested in trying.
Okay.
I know, right?
Sorry, I had to get my coffee. What was I know right? What do you I know and right about there?
Profits go to packing, to packing
Thank
supplies.
you. So with reduced, I'm paying around 19%, which to me is not bad, because here's what people don't talk about is we just saw it. We just saw in that question, people are more incentivized to buy with the reduced shipping. I'm going to just stick with reduced because that's more popular than free for most people. People are more incentivized to buy, so you do make more sales. The bidding prices generally tend to be a little bit higher. I'm not saying you're going to get, rich off of it.
Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Erin. But because you're getting more bids, you're selling more items than you would if you were doing buyer pays all. That it washes out. So yes, I'm paying 19% of my profit into shipping cost. Again, I ship vintage items. I ship a lot of big items. If somebody buys 3 or 4 vintage items, there's a good chance that I need 2 boxes, just depending on what those items are. So vintage is far different than jewelry or clothing. So a lot of it also depends on what category you're in. Um, yeah, there's a lot of people on here who'll talk about shipping. So there's a lot of good people on here that talk about shipping. So I have, I will continue to reduce shipping. I do not see any changes in my plans for that. All right. I hope that answered your question about how much it cost. It's hard to give you exact dollar numbers because it changes every show, just depending on what it is. But it's been averaging at about 19%. For me, let's see, what does Liz say? For me, I get hung up on shipping time. The cost might wash out, but the packing time doesn't. Yes, more items, more time, lower hourly wage. True, very true. Choco Dog, you got that giveaway. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
See, now Liz, that's a really good point. I spend a lot of time. I'll probably spend at least 8 hours after every vintage show is packing time for me. It's usually a full day of packing. But I also don't necessarily calculate my hourly rate. I don't look at that because I do not pay myself a payroll. So I don't consider my hourly rate in. And this is where, and I may have a very difference of opinion on this because I take a very accounting focused opinion on this. The hourly time, the time that I spend does factor in, but not on the front end. So if you're not paying payroll, There is no accounting number that you ever record for your time. Your time, in my opinion, does not matter as far as accounting goes if you are not paying payroll. You don't record it anywhere. You don't. Now, handmade is a little bit different. I've always got to carve them out. Handmade has kind of their own set of rules that I would talk about separately. But I don't write myself a paycheck. So I am not recording X number of dollars per hour. But is my time valuable? 100% my time's valuable. Well, where I hear this concept coming in a lot is people will say, well, I have to price this at this amount. I can never do a dollar because my time is valuable. I had to source it and I had to clean it and I had to photograph it and I had to show it. Okay, but have you ever gone to Target and looked at a pair of shoes or looked at a shirt and said, wow, there was somebody in China who like sat there and made this, and then they had to pack it and send it across the ocean and then unpack it from a big ship, and then somebody had to put it out on the unpack that box and put it on the shelf. No, that doesn't matter, right? For to the end buyer, it doesn't matter. As a buyer, I can care less how much time you spent sourcing because that's on you, right? So when I'm looking at it, when I put myself in the buyer's shoes and I'm looking at this, how much time you spent doesn't matter to me on the price. That price is, I have a dollar amount in my head that that item is worth, regardless of what you did to that item, like how much time you spent on that item. Now, on the flip side, as the seller, so let's take, yes, handmade is different. I've said that before, but I'm going to keep kind of putting that in there. Now, as the seller, I do want to look at my time overall. Overall, every month I sit back and say, or weekly, I'm like, okay, I'm spending a lot of time on this business. Is this business trending? Am I reaching the goals I'm setting for this business? Am I trending to hit my dollar goals, my whatever goals they are? That's my analysis of time for me personally. Now, everybody runs their businesses different, and I'm not saying anybody's good or bad. That's just how I do it since I don't record it. It's not an actual number. I'm selling dirty, yep. I'm selling dirty with stickers, actually, and random listings, and live unboxing. Yep, it's the only time I consider time live and packing. I need to justify this. I do, and I understand the justification because I look at time in the sense after the fact of here's my goal. Have I, like, say I have a monetary goal? Let's just use that because it's an easy one. Let's just say, okay, if I want to make $5,000 a month, and at the end of the month I made 3,000, and I put in a ton of time, I'm like, okay, I'm putting in a lot of time. I didn't hit my goal, and I start to wonder, is all my time worth it, right? So then I wait until the next month, and I see, okay, well, the next month maybe I made 3,500, and I'm still putting in about the same hours. It's just the base work building up. I can see the trend upward. Now, if I'm flat, if I'm not reaching my goals and I'm plateauing, something has to change. This is where the seller has to be efficient in sourcing and packing. I for beauty, I agree with you 100%. You have to be as much as you can. And let me tell you, I have seen what Liz Lice talks about packing. She packs far faster than I do. Is very well packing, not bad. I'm not saying bad, fast is bad. Packs very, very well and packs a lot faster. I cannot pack as fast as she does. Trying to calculate, oh man, that first sip of coffee, y'all, that's the best. Trying to calculate sales needed to absorb extra shipping cost. If you offer reduced, if your markup is only 60%, I can ship max 4 items in a 12 by 12. Berthier, I think you're overthinking it, honestly. I think if you tried it, the increased sales would just outweigh the additional cost. To, I think that's over trying to overthink it too hard, trying to control every little aspect of it. If you ever want to, yes, if you ever want to scale to employees, tracking the time is hugely important. It is because at the point when you start having employees, now it becomes a physical cost to your company. So that's a different scenario. What is my husband laughing about? Imagine that. I overthink everything. Me too. I'm an overthinker. Look, I don't say that in a bad way. Ask my husband. Thank you, Dumpy. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, and I love discounts is right. If you're going to hire somebody, you absolutely then have to track your time. You need to know because what you're hiring somebody is to replace some of the time you're spending. So if I'm hiring a shipper, I need to know how much time I'm spending on shipping. so that I can calculate, okay, I'm going to pay this person $20 an hour. I expect them to, it takes me 10 hours to ship. I'm going to pay them 10 hours a week. So there is a definite dollar amount that you're recording in an outlay at that point. But if you're not at that point, your time is not an accounting figure unless you're paying payroll. I'm overthinking the best selection for shipping now. It got me thinking, hearing this other seller that I have respect for and that I know really looked at their data and like it was using their actual statistical information, which is one of the reasons I have so much respect for them, is because they're not just a fly by the seat of their pants person. Made me start thinking, made me really question it, because let's think about it. Shipping, doing reduced shipping, not doing it. We all think about that at one point or another in our selling journey. It's something that kind of never goes away. But I made the decision to do either, reduced or free, and then kind of never went back and didn't double think that or overthink it at that point. But she got me thinking, I would be so proud of you. A 44-page. Oh, see, I do like that. I like that. So that's the other thing. And so I love discounts. If you guys are ever thinking about hiring help, and a lot of us will say, well, I'm just a one-man show, or it's me and my spouse, or me and my kid, I'm not going to hire people. You may. I'm to the point now, I want a shipper. I need to hire a shipper. I will not do it while I'm working in my home. I feel odd. I have a weird thing about people coming into my home to work. So I'm waiting until we get our whatnot house, is what we affectionately call it. And so we can hire a shipping person. You're responsible for everything. They will not have the same view about your business that you do. You have to write detailed instructions for them, like I Love Discount says. Hubby helped me ship last weekend, and I don't think I let him wrap one thing without me double checking. It doesn't it? See, now that's like the first like experience in hiring somebody, right?
And
I have
yet
to say,
and yet she calls me when she needs me to wrap the very difficult items.
I do. I have to say, my husband is so good at wrapping those super delicate, fragile things that I'm scared to ship. I ship a lot of stuff. I mean, I ship a lot of stuff.
Thank
But
you,
there's certain
Jennifer.
things that scare me. And he does the things that scare me, I give it to him. Now, could I have him ship for me every show? 100% not, because this man will take 4 days to ship a regular show that I can do in 10 hours. So no, I cannot ask him to do everything. But those special items, they're all his. You have a great day too, Jennifer. Okay, so we've talked a lot about shipping. And do we have a giveaway going? I think I may have missed. I don't know if I missed the last person, but we're going to do another giveaway. That's going right now. That's so you can spend an hour on 3 orders. And this is part of where I think what Liz was getting at too is the efficiency. You have to be efficient. While you may not be recording that time, it is something that you take into consideration. Like I said, I'm going to look weekly. I work 9 to 5 too. My time is limited, just like I'm sure a whole bunch of you have outside jobs, and your time's limited also. I'm not unique in this. And so I have to really look and see, how do I make the best use of, my 5 to 9. I get up in the morning, I do morning shows. So from 6 to 9 in the morning, I have whatnot time. From 5 to 9 at night, I have whatnot time, and fit in your other responsibilities. You have to make that the most efficient. Packing is part of that. And I can see what Liz is saying completely. I don't necessarily disagree with it. It's the fact of, look, if I'm going to sell these items and she said, okay, I don't clean them. I'm just unboxing. I'm going as I unbox it. If I'm going to sell those items, I need to make sure that the money I'm making at the end of the month is worth it. And that's where I come back to, is it helping you reach your goals? Like where is it along the line of getting you to where you want to go?
The bird theory.
Yes.
I agree with you. At the same time, I want the items to arrive to the buyer in the best condition possible.
Oh yeah, Choco Dog. Don't procrastinate shipping like me. I'm a terrible procrastinator of shipping. I will have a show on Saturday, and this is part of the reason I do Saturday shows, is to give me until Tuesday to ship. I do a show on Saturday, and then I'm exhausted after the show, or usually we kind of our thing on Saturday night, we like to go out to eat on Saturday night. So we'll do a show, we'll go out to dinner. And then Sunday morning, I overbook myself. I do. And then Sunday morning, I say, oh, I want to go sourcing. And then I get home at 4 and I'm like, I don't feel like doing shipping. So then I'm up early Monday morning trying to get the shipping done, which is not a good, don't, that's not good. I do not recommend that. Tracking data is so important. Feelings are fickle, 100%. Yes, 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 yes. I can think a show has hit a bust, but the or was a bust, but the data can say otherwise and keep me going. Absolutely. I that 100% agree. You have to, and I this is one of the things I preach about all the time. Feeling can't be part of your business. Feelings have to be put aside because there is no way you know. I can have a sold out show. I can offer reduced shipping, have a sold out show, and not make much money on it at all, and end up losing money. But just because it's a sold out show, which you do a sold out show and you're like, yeah, I sold everything, doesn't mean I made money. What happens when an order is overdue but you sent it out already? Hmm. Um, Cheap deals. So if you sent it out, you should be using the in-app scanner. So it should have already been marked as shipped in your whatnot system. So that's what I would ask first. Are you using the scanner? Because Whatnot just recently came out that they're cracking down on that scanner. That using that scanner, when they introduced it, I don't know how many months ago, they're like, oh, this is optional. We all knew something more was coming. It just wasn't revealed yet. It's in stages. It was optional. They released something a few weeks ago. What kind of scanner? The in-app scanner for Whatnot. So when you're a seller, when you go, after you pack all of your items, right before you go to the post office, I usually I do mine the night before because I go to the post office first thing in the morning. What you do is you open up the in-app scanner. So you go to on your phone, it says ready to scan or ready to ship, and you
In the
click
seller
that
hub.
button.
It's in the seller hub.
Yes, and it's a scanner in your phone where you scan each and every label, the barcode or your PWEs. It scans the name on the PWEs and as marks it as like the first shipping thing that Whatnot uses as part of your metrics. The next data point they use is when the post office marks it as shipped. So, but it's the first data point Whatnot starts to use for your metrics.
Hi for
And
Beauty.
it's not a physical scanner, it's all on your phone.
Hi for Beauty. Whatnot recommends you to scan it right before you're gonna put it in for the post office. Either drop it off or pick it for them to pick up. They don't want anybody to be printing labels and scanning it, because if you're not gonna deliver it right there and then it shows it as it's en route for the buyer when it's still not really been delivered even to the post office. And that's on the terms of service, I believe.
Yes, they updated their terms of service because they've updated the part on what their metrics, your account metrics are based on. T Bubble Fizz, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. Oh, I love discounts. I know you're not using it, but you're a special case because your post office actually gives you, like, lets you scan it when you drop it off. So I think you have a special reason why you don't use it.
Correct
The
for the
rest of us,
memories. It's a few hours before the drop off. And
TOS says a few hours.
the scanner is in the app, and you use the camera of the phone to scan.
Okay, and I for Beauty says, "Oh, I do wait." Oh, yeah, I for Beauty. Yeah, there's people are always going to find a way to scam the system, and you're supposed to have it on the package. But yeah, I'm sure there's scammers out there not doing it properly. There always will be. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. What I was saying is, I Love Discounts does not use a scanner because you go straight to the post office and they actually give you, like, you have you're buddy with your post people where you can scan it right at the post office. There's many of us who I pull up to the post office with a truckload of stuff, dump it in their bins in the back, and it may not get scanned until the next day at the post office. So I'm for sure using that in-app scanner because it does affect my account health. What does Gills say? I have a pretty large order that still hasn't shipped 10 days later. I messaged the seller, but how much longer? I would reach out to Whatnot. If you've messaged a seller, if it's been 10 days and it's showing like labor prepared, if it's not any movement and it's been 10 days, and the seller is not responding to you, at that point, I would reach out to Whatnot now. I wouldn't keep waiting for the seller. I give them one or two chances, and most people are on the up and up, and they're going to reply to you and tell you what's happening. But I would reach out if I were you. The picture you scan into the app is generated and saved in the buyer's shipping. It is. It does need to be attached to the box, and keep in mind when that buyer gets that picture with everything around it. So you want to make sure whatever you're taking that picture of, you're not including other addresses like other boxes, so that that information isn't showing. So you're protecting people's addresses, and that like me, there are so many buyers who have pictures of my fuzzy slippers. I am not joking. I wear them around the house all the time, and a lot of people have seen my fuzzy slippers in the pictures. It sends everything in that's taken.
Found with love. That's the way to do it.
I'm trying to see what the comment. The scanned photo, there is proof it's not on the package. Yeah, true. Yeah, you can see that it's not on the package. So,
Oh, come on. I love discounts. You don't like feed peaks?
so we need to scan even if the post office. Yes, you do. According to Whatnot, you do. According to Whatnot. Now, if you have two or three packages and you go straight to the counter and they scan them right there, it's probably not a big deal. But what happens when you start to grow? I always say start with the end in mind. So if you're the type of seller who just can carry an armful of packages in, you wait in line, you see them scan it right then and there. That's good. It's marked. It's starting affecting your account health. But what happens when you get 20 packages, 100 packages, and you can't do that? So you might as well just get used to doing the scanner now and just make it part of your process so that it doesn't become something that when you get big, you're like, oh no, now I got to implement something. And Whatnot also asked not to scan within 2 hours of USPS possession. Not to scan until it's within 2 hours. That's it. I usually do mine the night before. I haven't had a problem, but that's just how I pack. Does really matter the second hour? No, I don't think so. I wonder if it would be USPS violation that I can scan my own packages. It may be. There may be a little conflict of interest, is what we would call that in the auditing world. I love discounts. Daisy Lane, good morning. You must have came in and I didn't see you. Protect your business, scan and watch. Absolutely. And at the loading, see, so mine doesn't scan at the loading dock. They never do.
It's too small of a post office, and they don't have that many employees. So we drop them off, and they take their time because sometimes it's a lot of packages.
Yeah. All right. So that's a lot of talk about scanning packages. Anything else on your mind? We are going to do. I do see a pre-bid, so let's go ahead and get that taken care of. I have an amazing crew at the post office. That is good. Doesn't it help, Daisy Lane? I love my post people too. My post office people. Now there's 3 post offices that I go to normally, and then I also have a PO box in a different post office. I do not like the people at the PO box, but the other ones, love them. Where do you get the labels? Thumpy? I can barely see it. Oh, who got that giveaway? Did I miss that again? Let me see.
Congratulations.
Brim House, congratulations. You got that giveaway. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's go ahead and run this really quick. Let's switch over, and then we'll talk about labels. Thumpy, clarify, what labels are you talking about? Are your shipping labels? All right, this is a really cool. We're going to run this item really quick. All right, we'll answer you just a second. This is one of those handleless mugs. They call them hand warmer mugs. So if you turn it around, you can put your hand in it, which is really nice on a cold morning. I know we're starting to get into the warm weather, and it is signed on the bottom. So it's a really nice, beautiful pottery piece, but it is actually functional. Are you going to show the bottom? Yeah, the bottom is signed. There you go. Yeah, all right. I can't read it, but it's signed. And it is fully functional, no chips or cracks, and it is running right now. And it's a pretty one too. It has pretty colors on it. These mugs are cool. I really do like these hand warmer mugs. We're just paring down on a lot of the mugs that we had. 2 peas in a pod. Thank you so much. That is going to you. Do you know the name of the system of the process USP is supposed to scan packages with postage due and whatnot and not the buyers? I do not know the name of the system. I don't. I Love Discounts may be able to answer that question. They actually work in the post office. Nope. I do not. Okay, so no. If anybody knows, please put it in there. Wish it was a left-handed. Yeah, that would be cool. Okay, so the labels, did anybody already answer that question? The labels are printed through Whatnot. So you actually just buy shipping labels. You can print it on plain paper. If you just have a regular printer, you can print those labels on plain paper. Whatnot produces the labels for you, and then you print them. So a lot of people, almost every single seller will tell you that they're going to recommend a thermal printer, and then you can buy labels at like Amazon or something like that to get your thermal printer labels. Oh, that's cool. Two peas in a pod. Get a thermal printer. Yes. Okay, you guys, put this best tips. Okay, if you were starting out brand new again, so all of you sellers who have been selling more than 3 months, if you were to go back to day one, what is the first two pieces of equipment you would say, I can't live without? Boxes on hand, thermal printer. With will the overdue go away if the package gets scanned at delivery? Yes, it should. It should. Cheap deals. Lighting, thermal printer. Okay, so we have thermal printer, lighting. Lighting's important because if they can't see that item, you're not selling it very good, right? Scale, print lights, printer, thermal printer, and a scale. Heavy duty tape dispenser. I agree. I don't know how people use them. The hand, like the ones that are on the little roll. I don't know how they do that. I got a big old like gun. Thanks for your purchase from the bin. I do appreciate that. Lighting, packing. There you go. So if you're just starting out, you have a whole list of the stuff that you have to get, or not have to. What we highly recommend it as first purchases, like must-haves that are like really worth their weight in gold when you're trying to do shipping. I'm still pulling the tape off. And the handheld plastic wrap. Yes, it is. Bird Theory, it is. All right, who here uses plastic wrap? I Love Discounts hates plastic wrap, and she gets on me about it. She always makes jokes with me about it. I use plastic wrap. Who else here uses it? Yes. Oh, Gills hates plastic wrap too. I love it. So the reason we use it is to help keep the items from shifting. If you have 3 or 4 items, they kind of stick together at the plastic. One, it keeps it wrapped nice and tight. So the item itself isn't going to jiggle around. But then if you have more than one item, it keeps it from moving around in the box. Opening it though, I agree. But would you rather get your packages safe with plastic wrap or broken without plastic wrap? If you use your tape, you cannot remove bubble wrap. Yeah, don't put packing tape on bubble wrap. I don't know how we do it. We got into talking all kinds of shipping today, but it is what it is. Don't put shipping tape on bubble wrap. Most of us reuse bubble wrap. Use like a masking tape or just use the plastic wrap to hold it in there. Packing paper. Use scissors. So I love plastic wrap. I never knew. And these are the things you can learn about shipping when you're watching other people or just hearing what they're talking about. I never would have thought about plastic wrap. I probably was here 6 months before I ever wrapped anything in plastic wrap. And I saw the Hodge do it. And then I'm like, let me try this. And then so I bought a little bit and I tried it. I'm like, I like this. If you use tape, you cannot. Oh, I got that. Where do you get plastic wrap? Everybody put your best sources. If you're willing to share where you get your shipping supplies. I get my plastic wrap from Amazon. They're shipping companies. I found I get it by the case from Amazon, and I found it to be a pretty good price for me. Southern Charm, I like the way you do that. Taping the end of the plastic wrap. You've said that before, and I was like, oh, I got to use that tip, and then I kept forgetting to use it. I like that tip. Do the tape on the bubble wrap, did not even think. Yeah, if you do shipping tape on bubble wrap, you get your wrap at Walmart. Here's the thing, Walmart, Amazon, if you guys are looking, a lot of people say Amazon to get it. Walmart's good, but I always recommend buying in bulk. If you can afford to buy in bulk, you're going to get the best deals. Look at just a per box price. If we're just looking at a 12 by 12 box, If you buy one box, a 12 by 12 box at Walmart, I don't even buy them that way. So I'm guessing what, maybe $1.50? I'm guessing $1. I don't know how much one box, one 12 by 12 box at Walmart is. About that. Okay. If you buy them in bulk, and you can buy them from Amazon, you can buy them from the Boxery. There's other, Uline. I'm not sure all the different places you can buy them. You can get them for like 98 cents a box. Put your items in the Amazon cart and leave for a day or three, and then they will lower the price for. Really, the bird theory? I didn't know that. I'm going to try that. That's a good tip there. And for the thermal printer, does the brand really matter? Good question. Anybody in the chat have opinions on that? I don't think the brand matters. I have two different brand thermal printers. I have a cheapy one, like a $40 one from Amazon, and I have a Rollo, which is like a higher end brand.
I
So
think in my opinion is not necessarily is how much you use it. Some printers that might be a little more on the low end cost may end up breaking eventually a little faster than a bigger name brand, but they work the same way. So the quality is not that much of a difference. The question is how much are you going to be using it and the wear and tear that is going to suffer through it. So you might need to replace it a little faster.
yeah, Fern and Finch, that's what I use too. So I have a Jaden and a Rollo. The Jaden, I'm pretty sure I spent like $40 on it on Amazon, somewhere in that ballpark. It's lasted me 2 years now. It's been fine. It's still going. It works great. I don't have a problem with it. I love it. I got a Rollo after the fact. The Rollo is a little bit faster. Um, I like the way labels load into a Rollo. It's easier to load. But at the end of the day, those aren't things I'm doing like that doesn't affect me on a daily basis. It's not a big deal. Jaden's work just fine. So I don't think you have to go high end on a thermal printer. Love my Rollo. Walmart cheapy could do this small labels. Yeah, so I started cheap. I started with the Jaden. And like I'm saying, I'm still using it. I found, so my personal preference, the way I do things, I'll start with the lower end item and I see how much I use it, how it's performing. And then usually I'll buy another one. Like I did that with my labels because I didn't want to change labels all the time. I have one that I print miscellaneous labels with and one that I print just my shipping labels. So my Rollo is just shipping. My Jaden I use to make all my open carefully, whatever type, fragile, whatever type of labels. And I did the same thing with the bubble wrap maker. I bought a cheapy one and then I didn't like having to switch out the plastic stuff all the time. So then I bought a better one. You did that with your bubble wrap machine too? Yes. And to me now, the bubble wrap machine, if I can go back and do that again, I would skip the cheap one and just go with the fancier one to begin with. And when I say cheap to fancy, I'm talking about like $125 one compared to a $300 one. So it's a significant price difference. To me, the higher end bubble wrap machine performs so much better. It's faster. It freezes up less. It's to me, I would go back and do that different if I could.
Good morning, Miss Inga.
Hello, Inga. A bubble wrap machine makes your bubble wrap. So it makes various sizes. The really tiny, tiny little bubbles, I buy those at Sam's. It does not make those, but you can have medium size, large ones that you use to fill voids in boxes. So bubble wrap machines, just Google bubble wrap machine or go to Amazon and look up bubble wrap machine. 100%. For me, if you're at that point in your business where you're shipping enough fragile items and you're having to buy this, it's weighs less than their brown packing paper and it's cheaper ultimately than buying the brown packing paper. I have a bubble and use it every show too. Yep. Read reviews, you can always get a lemon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we always definitely read reviews. My husband's my review guy. I don't have patience for it. So I'm like, honey, I'm thinking about buying this piece of equipment. And then he'll come back like 2 days later with three or four choices for me. He's like, here's the best ones to buy. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Miss Inga, I saw your video about the homemade bubble wrap. That was genius. That was pretty good.
I missed this. What was it? Tell us about it. What was homemade bubble wrap? What was it?
I think she has kind of the same machine that we have.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I get brown paper rolls at Menards in the paint department. I for Beauty. I'm going to try that. So you're like the third person in a week that I have heard mention this. So as soon as I run out of the supply of brown paper I have, I'm going to go try that. So the tip that I've heard, I for Beauty put it in there. Not everybody has Menards, but you get the brown painting, like, and go to the paint department, Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards if you have one, and they have that brown paper that you like painters will lay out on the floor or whatever to protect the floors. I have heard that's cheaper than the brown packing paper, which very well could be because I'm paying upwards of $30 for a good roll of that brown packing paper. So I am definitely going to try that. It's the flooring paper. Okay. Yeah, you're like the third person within a week. To me, it's a sign. I keep hearing the same tip over and over. And when that happens, it's like, okay, Tracy, you need to like look into this. We've been using more, we've been using, I can't read it, paper from Home Depot, and it's in the flooring, right? Okay, yeah. So we're all talking about the same paper. The only thing is, I use that around the edges of my box. So I'll pack everything with my big bubble wrap stuff, and then I use that around the edges for the most part and along the top. It's heavy, and if you're doing reduced shipping, so here's a consideration. I didn't buy my bubble wrap machine until I went to free shipping because I needed to be conscious of every single ounce going into that box. And brown paper adds weight very, very quick. Take an 8x8 box, put one item in there, and do bubble wrap versus brown paper, and it can push you from 15 ounces to over a pound, which then doubles the price of it. You don't like using newspaper for wrapping. Okay, this is another controversy. We're just going to talk controversial items today. Everybody, yes or no on newspaper? Do you pack? And I'm not talking wrapping the item. I'm talking about just as filler in your box. Newspaper is filler in the box. Oh no, all these no's. Okay, one yes. I'm with the yes. Not, but it's filler. Okay, I only use it for filler. And I don't go buy newspaper to use, but if I get newspaper, if I go to the like antique store and they've given me newspaper in my box, I reuse it. You despise it. Okay, so why? Because if there's enough reason, like this is what I like to learn, because if there's enough people that are like, no, I don't like it because of this, that what starts getting my brain going, like maybe I should or shouldn't use it. It's hard to find everything, phones, internet. Someone did diaper. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but stores give me flyers for free. As a buyer, I don't like unpacking and having to recycle all the crumpled paper that gets my hands dirty. Okay, so it's I don't like my hands to get dirty neither, so I really do understand that. The color wear off. Oh, okay. My husband's gonna say, "Oh man, honey, that shipping area is a mess. Y'all gonna do it's a mess." He's gonna hide the mess from you. I just got a bunch of boxes in, and they're like all piled up. It's a mess. So it's really the color. It's the color rub off that people don't like. Okay, I can get that. Yucky to touch. I just heard you read diaper as I typed. And the packing. Oh, I don't like packing peanuts. Non-biodegradable. I don't like packing peanuts just because they make a mess. I've never been able to use packing peanuts. That's not a mess. This is our bubble wrap one that I absolutely love. This guy's super, super fast. That's the one that's super slow. It works. It's just super slow. I use all new materials for presentation. Daisy Lane, I respect that from you. I do. And I've also heard you talk about Amazon boxes. So Noel just showed you, those are the bubble wrap machines. If you guys are interested in buying them, I recommend the fast one. So Daisy Lane, I've heard you talk about this before, that you don't reuse Amazon boxes and that you do use all new. Amazon boxes, to the most part, I agree probably 75% with that. I think there's a lot of Amazon boxes I just ditch because they look like they live their life after one shipment. However, some Amazon boxes I still reuse. I still feel that they are perfectly good for 2 or 3 more shipments, depending on what I'm putting in there. I'm not going to put something super heavy or whatever in them. So I think you have to be picky with them, is my opinion. All new materials, I don't know. I 100% agree with presentation. And I try to be careful about what the boxes look like. But when I go to antique store and they give me paper and they give me newspaper, I am reusing it. I'm going to reuse it. How many people reuse boxes? Okay, good question. Found with vintage, because we're talking about reusing Amazon. Daisy Lane absolutely has a point when she says Amazon boxes, you got to be careful. You really do. I occasionally save them to use, but always avoid them. So stop saving them. Okay. So you started and then you're like, heck, I don't use them anyways. Why take up all my space? That makes sense. Absolutely reuse. Okay. So we have a lot of people reuse boxes. I love discounts. Yes. You just buy from me. I send you a lot of my packing. What Liz like. So yeah, I think a lot of us are of the same thought is that we'll reuse them, but we have to check the integrity of the boxes. Make sure that they're not crumbled, holes, whatever it may be. Let's see. A lot of times Amazon boxes are not meant for shipping. Oops, is my thing spinning. They don't have the strength. They're not rated for weight suitable for shipping. Ingalon, and I think that's a good point. And I think that's the point Daisy Lane makes a lot is that they don't hold up very well. Now, the most of the Amazon boxes we get are smaller, like 6x9, maybe 6x6, 8x8. Those are the ones I frequently will reuse. Anything bigger than that to me feels flimsy. A little bit lower. Okay, I just missed the. I use them only for like lighter single items. 100%. I agree with that. I reuse boxes. So a lot of people reuse boxes, but we have to be conscious of it. We are a business, and I do really respect the fact that Daisy Lane says, "No, I use new because of presentation." That's a huge point. You're representing your business. You're showing who you are, and you don't want the buyer to open a box and it looks like trash or it just looks like total recycled stuff. So we do have to be conscious of the look that it gives for our business. Um, let's see. If you look in the boxes, they have ratings and they're rated for different weights. So some cheaper boxes are flimsy. That's a good point. I don't think I've ever looked at the ratings on a box. I'm gonna have to go look at my boxes now. I do buy a lot. I go to the boxery and I buy a lot of new boxes. All my 12 by 12, well, I think I have like six different sizes I buy from the boxery religiously. Three, okay, hold on. Three legs, stool, good product, good presentation, and good shipping. My recipe for success. I agree, Daisy Line. I don't disagree with you. Presentation highly matters. Why are we going to put all of our time into having a good product, putting on a good show to ship it in garbage, right? Not, but I still will recycle materials if they're presentable. Will some even say the crush rating? I'm going to have to go check my boxes. I've never looked at that. I just go by like judgment. Okay, so now I've learned that we can go check ratings. Let's see. I went to the USPS store and interviewed the owner about that. Yes, put it on your TikTok and let us know when you do that. That I would be super interested in seeing that. I was bum I was so bummed with one of the packages I opened yesterday, but that had the diapers and wrapping over priority box. Oh yeah, y'all, and I'm not even going to go into the legalities of doing right with shipping. We know that we harp on it all the time. I received an item from a huge seller wrapped in Chipotle napkins and a bag, like they used their leftover lunch. Now that's bad. Yeah, don't do that. That's bad. So best prices on a 12 by 12 box that everyone has found. All right, everybody, best prices on your 12 by 12 boxes. I like the Boxery. That's my go-to, but I don't think a lot of people like I haven't heard a lot of people say the Boxery. So there's other ones. USPS, okay? Where else USPS for your priority for free, but I like yeah, the Boxery. The Boxery will charge you shipping. So Walmart, but can you buy in bulk at Walmart? I think somebody told me you can at one point. Told me you can buy in bulk. I prefer 16 by 10 by 10. Yes, it is the 12. What Liz likes, my favorite is a 14 by 12 by 10. That's my favorite. Yes, you can buy bulk at Walmart. That's where I buy. I need to check that out. Okay. Well, I'm going to make a note of that because I didn't know. I've never tried bulk at Walmart. Um, I have always gone to the Boxery, but I'm always looking to get a better deal on my shipping supplies. So we are going to look into that one. The Boxery also sells on Amazon. So if you have Prime, you can buy it there, but the boxes are more expensive. They're marked up like additional 4 to 5 cents per box on Amazon to cover the shipping that they pay. Packs of 25. Great. eBay is a good source for packing supplies. I've never tried eBay for packing supplies. Best deal for craft packing paper is on eBay. All right. See, this is what I love about this. I've got like 4 or 5 ideas today of things that I've never tried before. I've also heard you can buy boxes on eBay. Interesting. I've had to watch Facebook Marketplace failed small businesses. See, what this like, I've heard that before. I've heard so many people talk about like they get amazing shipping supplies off of Facebook Marketplace. I must just not be in a good area for it. I have yet to find it, but you're not the only one I have heard say that. We buy on eBay. Yep. All right. Look at all. Yes. Thank you, my love. I just answered that. We look at all these tips that we're sharing with each other today. This is amazing. Where are we at with time? We're good. Okay. Let me do another giveaway. We'll keep talking. This is our last giveaway, and then we'll probably go find somebody to raid for the day. But let's do this giveaway. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll talk for 5 more minutes, and then we'll go do something. Saturday, you guys, if you like Glowy Glass, Saturday's my Glowy Glass show, and Saturday I get to meet Southern Charm and her husband Tim. So I'm very excited about that. So I fly home early Saturday morning, and then I'm have a full day. So it's going to be a good weekend. But if you like Glowy Glass, I have everything pre-listed. I have gone to my Saturday shows of pre-listing. So you can always go in and take a look and see what's coming up. How about bubble mailers? I'm curious on bubble mailers because that's not something I've used a lot, but we are starting to use them. I just bought a big pack at Amazon, but I haven't really price checked anything yet for it. I just was like, oh, I need this like tomorrow. So I went and bought something. What is your latest take on giveaways? I started daydreaming about doing shows with no giveaways only because I'm tired of processing them. So my opinion on giveaways is we only do giveaways if I'm on a raid train that requires it. I do that, follow the conductor's rules. But I also will not get on raid trains that are giveaway heavy. Like if it's more than about $10, I'm probably not doing it. For giveaways, I don't do them for my selling shows at all. I believe that I'm giving either free or reduced shipping, and I do dollar starts. I'm giving a lot away already, I feel, on my selling shows to make it beneficial for the buyers. On these shows, I do giveaways on these shows, but I only do plain white envelope. And my giveaways, I look at them as marketing. It's a way that I put coupons in there. We're not allowed to say we put coupons in there, but I can tell you verbally, every envelope that goes out, I put one of my rewards cards in it. And I have seen people who win giveaways come back because of the rewards cards, because of the coupons that they receive. So I only use them on the talk show. I use them strategically. I have a certain dollar amount. Thank you so much. I have a certain dollar amount that I have budgeted for my Friday shows, my Monday and my Wednesday shows for giveaways to include, I do a CEO affirmation card, which are my designed cards, and one of my rewards cards. But it's a marketing tool to me. I don't believe in just doing giveaways to do giveaways. That's my take on it. I just restocked your bubble mailers you buy from eBay, and you recycle the ones you get too. Okay, cool. I've got to check eBay. eBay and Walmart bulk. I need to check. What? Okay, hold on. I can't read it. Use something ship is my favorite. I can't read what it says. I love discounts. Is my favorite spot for poly mailers. You pack and ship. Okay. Daisy Lane says, I do simple but nice, not expensive. Give new people a chance to experience. Exactly. I see, Daisy Lane, that's kind of my thing too, is like it gives somebody new a chance to see that what my presentation is like. You were talking presentation earlier. How fast I'm going to ship it, that I honor my word. They get what I say that I've advertised. I like all of those aspects. I have an extra 25 to 35 orders for giveaways to process. So it's like an extra mini show. That is a lot. Now, if you do just plain white envelopes though, we pre-package all of we've started to do this and this helps tremendously. Daisy Lane may do this too. I don't know. Let me know, Daisy, if you do this. I have my daughter pre-package my vintage postcard, the rewards card, like everything that I put into a giveaway into the little cellophane, like little cellophane plastic baggies. So they're ready to go. So when I do a giveaway, it's basically grab a stack of envelopes, grab one of these and pop it in. So it's a very fast process because there's no real packing and everything's kind of pre-assembled for me.
Forgotten
Before
memories.
you go,
I am still doing hand signs. You wouldn't even believe it.
you will have 11 minutes. I will
Yes,
have
I
a
am.
Southern Charm. I will. I'm going to make you come on the show, Southern Charm. Okay, before you go, can you repeat what you said earlier about canceling orders? I can't find the email. Absolutely. So there's two new things that just came out from Whatnot. So I'm going to mention these two things before we go. Two new announcements from Whatnot. They just sent an email. It was yesterday or the day before. There were some other miscellaneous terms of service changes, but the two things that really stuck out in that email were one, if as a seller you cancel an order, you will now be charged for that. You will pay a penalty. The penalty is either $3 or 3% of the total order, including shipping and taxes, whichever is greater. And that's a penalty that Whatnot is imposing for you as a seller canceling an order. This does not apply if the buyer requests the cancellation. Um, I just missed that. Hold on, let me just go see who popped up really quick on my screen. Was that Gills Vintage just got that? Congratulations. Thank you for being here. So that's
Congratulations.
the first new thing is that if as a seller you cancel an order, you will now be charged for it. Um, I'm not going to go into the whole thing on whether I agree with it or not. I think it will defer some people from just repeatedly cancel orders. The ones that it's really going to affect is when new sellers may come on, or maybe even experienced sellers, and they sell something too big and they go to ship it and realize it's going to cost them 50 something dollars to ship this, and then they cancel the order because they don't want to ship it. Hopefully it'll die that down. It'll help curb that. The other thing is those sellers who maybe the bid isn't what they want. They start something for $1 and it only goes for 4 and they wanted a lot more, so they cancel your order. They're the ones, I think that's where this is aimed at. Unfortunately, all of us have to pay the price for it. So
Here
the
it
key is
goes.
the buyer has to cancel. Yes, but if it's right there, you guys, you can read it while I talk about it. That's from, oh, it just went away, honey.
Hold on.
Oh wow, we're getting a whole show. I have no idea. My husband's just showing all the weird stuff on his computer now. Okay, there we go. So, um, i- if you can't just ask your buyer, if you make a mistake, those of us that are honest sellers, if I screw up, I'm going to cancel your order because I screwed up. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to communicate. I'm going to say, look, your item got broke. I've had this happen to me. Daisy Lane, I broke one of her items. She bought something from me. I went to pack it. I dropped it on the ground. I broke it. I have to cancel that. That I have to eat that. That's on me. So those of us that are honest with those far and few mistakes, unfortunately, we have to pay the price for all the people who are dishonest. It's just the way it is. Um, the other new thing that Whatnot just announced, I don't know when it's coming. Was there a date in that other new one?
No.
No. Okay, so coming soon is what they're calling the GEMS program. This is a rewards program for buyers. It's like gamifying the act of buying. So as buyers buy, they can earn based on parameters that Whatnot's going to set up, or challenges that Whatnot gives, or special things, promotions that Whatnot's going to run. That you get gems. These gems can be redeemed for uh, digital assets, like things like what was it, reactions that you can use during shows, or coupons at certain times. So Whatnot kind of gave a whole little range of they're going to roll out ways for you to earn gems and then ways for you to redeem them. So those are the two new things that I thought were like the things that stuck out from their email.
Grammy. Yes. As the seller, if the seller commences the cancellation, not the buyer.
And Daisy Lane, you guys right there, please read Daisy Lane's comment. This is huge. As a seller and buyers, it is a binding agreement from both ends on canceling an order. You buyers are more, I don't care how sad you are or that your husband's yelling at you for spending the money. You agreed to buy it. As a buyer, you agreed. Same for me. As a seller, if it goes for $1 and I'm not happy, too dang bad, I shouldn't have run it for $1. That's on me. I still have to send you your item. We are contractually, it is an agreement. When I put it out there and you swipe to buy it, we have now entered into a legal agreement with each other to make a purchase. And for me to send you goods and for you to send me the money for those goods. Neither one of us should be canceling for frivolous reasons. So wasn't this always? Oh yeah, that's always the case. However, there is a new emergence, and I'm seeing it more and more on Whatnot. Is people are coming to Whatnot with no auction background. Okay, yeah, there's been eBay and stuff, but we know how easy it is to return something on eBay. They're coming with more and more auction background. In true auctions, there's no returns. There's not supposed to be returns here either. But people come with this Amazon background where I can buy something and I don't like it and it's going back. So as a seller, I am seeing more and more requests of, oh, it's smaller than I thought. It's not this. And I'm like, it's as is. You bought it. Like, so it's just seeming the more people we get, the more influx, and it's going to happen. That's human nature. People need time to learn, but there has to be some education process in there. And I talked a lot about this on Monday. Buyers have just as much responsibilities within their buying as sellers have within their selling. And they both need to be conscious of our responsibilities. I see more cancellations issue happening during shows with swipes, and they ask the buyer to cancel. Yeah, it's just, I will never ask a buyer to cancel. If a buyer comes to me, if it's my mistake, I'm going to cancel. I got to eat that. I got to be a responsible seller. If the buyer wants to cancel, I believe in customer service. I don't like cancellations. I would love to be like zero tolerance for them. I would love to be that person. But at the end of the day, zero tolerance cost me more money than just going ahead and doing it. If I have a $10 item, I have shipped it out. Let's just take look at purely the numbers. And this is why I make the decisions I do. If I have a $10 item that weighs 2 pounds and I do reduce shipping at $4.50, okay, they bought it for $10. I probably didn't make a huge profit margin on a $10 item as is. Okay, probably a couple of bucks, $2 or $3, but I've also spent $4.50, at least $4.50 in shipping because I'm doing reduced shipping. So I've also spent some money shipping at $2 item. So once I take everything into consideration, just to get that item to the buyer, maybe my profit is like $2-3, maybe. Okay. Then if they want to cancel, I have to pay the shipping to return that item to me. Okay. If I want the item back, and I can just say, no, I'm not doing it, but it's just not worth it to me. It's just fine. I'll cancel it. We're going to do it. All the headache, all the time, I don't want to deal with it. So can I ask how you created the banner to scroll across the top? Oh, that says your max shipping. I didn't create the banner. Those banners that you see right now that welcome in, that's my husband. The banner that says max shipping that goes across the top, that's all Whatnot. So that is, if you in your show settings are doing your reduced shipping or max shipping, same, those are interchangeable terms. Whatnot puts that on your show for you. So you don't have to do anything. Sorry, I just joined, but is Whatnot doing anything to enforce this new? Are they allowing the cancellations or being more strict? Whatnot will charge sellers if the seller cancels. That's the new thing. If you as a seller cancel, you will be charged 3% or $3, whichever is greater. We have a raid. Thank you so much.
Welcome in, Raiders! Grab your hats and step into Zoe's Treasures, where the relics aren't cursed. They are for sale.
And Yolts Vintage, thank you so much for bringing your people in. Please tell everybody what you sell, when your next show is. Y'all, if you just came in, my name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We are doing a chat and sell. We are actually about to wrap it up. We're probably going to run our last pre-bid item I saw just pop up. But thank you for coming. Please hang out. We're doing $4.50 shipping with dollar starts today. All right. So let me answer these next questions. Let's see. Please don't swipe, and they swipe, or it's the don't swipe on this book. I see this. Grammy, I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm not reading this right. Please don't swipe, and they swipe, or it's like, I'm not sure what you're saying there. Do sellers post what a good review is? Thank you for your purchase from the bin. Educating to include USPS shipping items, whereas described, packed well, and shipping less than 48 hours. Oh, do sellers post what a good review is? I'm not sure what you're asking. I have a whole opinion on when people leave reviews that your words matter. Your words matter incredibly. Please use them carefully when writing reviews because it really affects the sellers. I don't expect dishonesty. I expect complete truth in your review, but you can be truthful and you can be kind. You don't have to be truthful and mean. So when you're leaving a review, and make sure that it's clear. I got a review one time saying it was broke. That's all it said. The truth of the matter was the item broke in shipping and they were refunded. So, but it was broke conveys a completely different message. I it is one of my biggest pet peeves, and when I actually take time to write words on my review, I'm very conscious of the words I use because it matters. People who know nothing about that transaction are reading those reviews, and you've got to keep that in mind. So there's when I see the seller say they don't swipe and I'm not running anything here. Oh, really? I don't know why they would run something and say don't swipe, or it's a place bookmark for my future shows. If you have a bookmark, like if you have one of those listings like this, let me show you. If you have a listing like this, I'll put it up here really quick. It cannot be some ridiculous number. It has to be swipeable. It has to be somebody can buy it and actually get something at a reasonable price. It cannot be unrealistic. So I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. You can't tell. I mean, you can tell people not to swipe on it all you want, but if you put the 99999, almost $1 million, you can't. That's against terms of service. Terms of service says at that price, it has to be for something, and it has to be a reasonable price for that something. Yes, the forgotten memories. These are wrong all the time. There's so many people who do these wrong. The other thing, and here's the thing, you guys, we're not always going to be perfect, right? Sometimes terms of service change. We don't realize it. Not everybody's in there reading it every day. I'm not. When I get an email from Whatnot, I go in and kind of refamiliarize myself with those whatever's changing. Or if I go into a new category or start to do something different that I haven't done before, I go and read terms of service as it relates to whatever I'm doing. But other than that, I'm not in there every day and nobody else is either, right? So sometimes people could have something that's incorrect. But once they're made aware of what the correct way is, if they continue to do it in the incorrect manner, to me, that speaks a lot about the integrity of a seller. And I'm talking about those 999s, those type of listings. If they are made aware that it is wrong and they continue to do it, that tells me something about you. If those people who put buy me a coffee, buy my dog a bone, buy my kid a burrito, whatever it may be, those are also against terms of service. If you're made aware of that and you continue to do that, I will not continue to shop with you because you're telling me the type of person you are. And if you're going to do that on a simple little listing to get a $5 tip, what are you going to do to save corners on my shipment? That's how I feel about it. Again, I come from this as I am a hardcore rule follower. Did you see that they are going to start charging a fee for sellers? Yes, that's what we've been talking about. Daniels, they are going to start charging sellers a fee for canceling orders. I have the dog one, but you get stickers. Nope, not allowed, Gils. Not allowed. You cannot. You can say buy stickers, and I'm also going to give my dog a treat. It's the wording in there. It can't be a ploy for tips. It can't be this intangible thing. They're really not allowed. Go to terms of service and read it. And if you feel once you look at your listing that it fits within terms of service, then you're good. But there's a ton of people out there that are like using these. At one point before the tipping feature, when Whatnot history, those were allowed. Then Whatnot brought in the tipping feature and those became not allowed. And so there's a carryover behavior. And then what happens is new sellers come and they see this carryover behavior and then they start copying it. And now we have a lot of people doing something that's incorrect. No, I won't do them at all in any way because I don't want that perception. The same thing that I feel about when I go into shows, I don't want somebody coming into my show thinking. I actually have an example on something I changed because I learned about it from Daisy Lane. So, and I'll tell you about it in 1 second. I never understand people asking to buy a coffee or a dog treat. I just don't get it. Yeah. Leftover behavior. Let's see. I've seen sponsor some bubble wrap. Not allowed. Sponsor some bubble wrap. To me, it sounds just like a twist on what we were just talking about. Is a listing that says bless the chat allowed. Those are sponsored giveaways. If they're running it as a sponsored giveaway, they're totally allowed under Whatnot. There's no rule against those. Whether you want to do them is a whole nother story, but there's no rule against them on what not. They're not breaking any rules with that. Here's a perfect example of something that I didn't realize, or I interpreted terms of service one way, and to the point that I heard Daisy Lane talking about it, and I went and I actually reached out to Whatnot to get clarification and decided to err on the side of safety. So I stopped letting people know they were doing things against terms of except in chat shows. They do. People get very defensive. I'm very careful about who I tell what. I have to have some relationship with that person, because if I don't, I've been booted from shows because I've been like, hey, you can't do that. I'm not the Whatnot police. That's not my job. But I've also tried to do it in a nice way, and sometimes it's not taken very well. Um, Even when the seller is adding so much extra on top of the bless. I would have to see what exactly is happening there. I don't know exactly. But a bless the chat, if it's a true sponsorship, like sponsor a giveaway, is totally okay. I don't know what else is going on with that. Does that seem okay? From Bill. Let's see. Good morning. Are our packages automatically have insurance on them for shipping? They do up to $100. So you are automatically insured up to the first $100. Anything over and above that, you need to purchase additionally. And there's a little box that you can click in the shipping settings to purchase additional if you want to. So the thing that I was saying that I learned from Daisy Lane is, and then I went and talked to Whatnot. In my giveaways, I used to say you get a CEO affirmation card, you get a vintage postcard, and one of my rewards cards. Well, my rewards cards are technically a coupon, and you cannot give a coupon for a future value, for a future show. Anything that happens has to be redeemable within that show. So that's what terms of service. Terms of service like explicitly says redeemable within the show. Well, because I was giving other things, I was giving a CEO affirmation card and a postcard, I read that as my rewards card was okay. When I reached out to Whatnot, they're like, yeah, it's okay, but the visual of it. So just because something's okay, how it looks could come across differently to different people. So I went ahead and took that out. Now I could tell you every package that leaves my house, I put one of my rewards cards, including giveaways. I can verbally tell you that all day long, and that's okay. But I took that part of the verbiage out of my giveaway just so that there's no misrepresentation there, so that there's nobody comes in and interprets it in a way that it's not supposed to mean. You have to be careful about this. This is a business, and people read things differently. And unfortunately, that we have to cater to a very broad crowd. Awareness. So when a buyer gets a package and it's damaged and they get it for 100 and they got it for 110, I will only lose 10 when I give them a refund. Correct. Yes, you should only lose the $10, because if Whatnot's like you process it through Whatnot, they give the $100, 110, you'll lose. Correct, because you could file the USPS claim for the 100 and get that back. Ultimately, it takes a while, but you'll get it back. I don't know. I guess that's up to you. Anything over 100, I always just do insurance. I don't have a lot of over $100 packages going out though.
Let me see. Who was it? Trish. You were talking about the blessed chat. So if you buy the sponsorship, usually what the host does is going to read the profile of the person. I don't know. If you get your money's worth, then great. Some of them offer co-hosting for 5 minutes or different options. In my opinion, people are going to follow you if they want to follow you, if they like you. What most of the times we like to do is we like to do something like this. So for example, Yo It's Vintage just rated us. So usually I put the profile on the screen and I scroll through to the shows. So if people are interested in the shows, they can go in there, bookmark, and follow the person. So to me, that's a little bit more of a value added to their shout out, rather than just read the profile. I can go and read the profile myself.
All right. So real quick. I have some time here. It's not a normal work day for me today. So, bless the chats. There's nothing wrong with him. I've been on both sides. I did sponsorships for about 4 shows, five maybe, and I bought one or two in my time from other sellers. Really quick, just poll. Bill, I see your question. Really quick poll. How many of you, if somebody blesses the chat and the seller is like, hey, go follow this person, they've just sponsored a $5 gift card. How many of you go and follow and then actually have gone to shows of that person? We have a few I have. We have some sometimes, quite a few no's. Not generally. It depends. Okay. It's not, as a marketing tool, it's probably not the most effective. If you're going to spend $15 on a bless the chat, unless it's your buddy and you're doing it to support your whatnot buddy, you're doing it as a sign of, look, I really like you, I want to support you. I would do something like that for Southern Charm or I Love Discounts any day of the week. But for somebody I don't know, I'm not doing it. You're better off taking that $15 or that $50 and using it in some way to enhance your show. Enhance your show by doing reduced shipping. Yeah, make it use a loss, offer a loss leader, put it into a really good banger on your show. Maybe offer some type of shipping discount or do a giveaway on your own show. Why give it to somebody else's, put in somebody else's pocket? It doesn't make sense. What Liz like says, I've never even followed them, let alone gone to their show. Exactly. It's not an effective marketing tool. The ones threatening to see if they follow the sponsor if I win. Yeah, the ones threatening, they go and look. They don't go and look. The other thing is that hold on, my husband said Sassy Vintage Chick said something and I'm missing it. The the other thing is don't okay. The okay, the sorry, my husband's talking to me on the back end. The other thing is don't pay somebody to be co-hosted on your show. I've actually blocked from a rather large seller because this seller does that. They charge to co-host, and I speak out against it, and I will continue to speak out against it. Co-hosting is a free service on Whatnot. You should not have to pay to be co-hosted. If they like you, if they are truly supporting you, if they are truly there to be the community people that they say they are to help you grow, then they will do it for free. They will co-host you for free. They will promote you for free. You should not have to pay for somebody to co-host you. And it irks me. And you know what? I got blocked for this specific topic right here because somebody started doing this and I immediately started speaking out against it. Do not pay for that. If that person was truly on your team and wanted to promote you, they have a little tab. They tap your name, they hit co-host, and they've done you a service at that point. All they're doing is doing themselves a service by charging you to co-host you. Pisses me off. You want to see me get riled up about something, I'm gonna get riled up about that. Real quick, before we go any further, Bill, I see your question. I do want to mention, you guys, we are selling something new. I am going to do just a quick little plug because I haven't talked about it the whole show. We have what's called the Live Seller Link. If you guys are a seller, this is really cool. After I talk about promotions, Live Seller Link is kind of like a dot bracelet, but it is a card and they come fully customizable and with your logo or any picture you want and programmed for you. My husband's going to run a little video and then I'm going to answer Bill's question. And I do see some pre-bids we'll get to. Is there labels out there to put on packages about not opening them right away so that glass? Oh, Bill, yes, I got an answer for you, but let my husband run this and I'll tell you exactly where to go get those labels.
Have you seen the new Live Seller Link card? It is amazing. All your social media, your website, your selling platforms in one card? How convenient.
Share your seller profile, social media, and contact info, all with one tap.
So those are the bid. If you are interested, they are really cool. They're also great if you have a booth. We make special ones where you can put them in a booth or like at a market and people can tap. All right, Bill, go see Natural State of High. If someone could tag Natural State of High, Natural State of High makes the exact stickers that you were talking about. She's another seller on here, one that I would 100% endorse, completely trustworthy, makes a good quality product. She specializes in stickers. It is, there you go, Natural State of High. And she has stickers that, I forget the wording. I've bought them from her before, but it does the exact thing that you say. It says like, wait 48 hours because of the temperature, let it acclimate or something like that. So highly recommend her. Absolutely go and you can get them from her. Yes.
The
Yeah. A lot of
rustic
people are
badger,
like, yeah.
the rustic badger, they have bracelets, but the ability of the cards is that I can customize them to your business. I cannot do the same thing with the bracelet.
Yeah. Sassy Vintage Chick Van, we're probably all thinking of the exact same person. Yes. I'm sure my name's Red Chatted too. I don't know for a fact. I just know for 100% that I'm blocked.
Sassy,
Um,
yes, we make them. You tell me if you have a link tree, I can put it on your link tree. If you have some other stuff, then I can program your website, your social media, your contact information, everything. And then it'll come with your logo. If you have the design in mind, I can put the design in there too.
and Bill Y, the oddity guy, thank you very much. That was not necessary, not expected, but I do genuinely appreciate it. So thank you very much. Um, Red chatted, so is that Mel? I can't read the name. Red chatted is there's certain words that will red chat where only the host and the mods can see what's happening when it's red chatted. It just comes up red, big red bar, and everybody in the chat can't see it. Only the host and the mods. There's certain words at PayPal you like. If you say boobs or PayPal, those are two words that will make your comment red chatted. It's a way to send a very private message to the host. Um, there's there are other certain words also when you set up your show. There's a box, I think it's called muted words. There's a box, and if you put those words in there, that will turn those words into a red chat. So if there's somebody that you really don't like and you don't want that person talked about in your show, which is what the seller does, she puts your username in the chat, or not in the chat, in her muted words, so that if anybody ever talks about you, it becomes red chatted and nobody sees it. So, and not just her, I'm sure other sellers do that too. I just don't see the use of that. But I have seen that everyone's favorite red chat word is getting through, though. Is boobs getting through? Boobs is the most popular one. BBC is another. BBC will always get you red chatted. That's one that people message with me a lot, frequently will use that.
Sassy,
I'm feeling annoyed with knowing this.
yes, send us a message if you got questions.
Um, Porch, Porch Goose gets red chatted. I did not know that. Um, okay. Yes, I agree. Livy, I agree. You know what? There's a lot of good sellers on here. Look, I say this all the time. 99% of the people you are going to meet on Whatnot are honest to goodness people selling, buying. They're trying to make a living. They're trying to make some extra money, or this is their full-time thing. And they're good people and they're doing their best. Are we all perfect? No. But 99% of the people are genuine good people. Don't let a few rotten eggs spoil it. What do you do with a rotten egg? You scroll out of their show and you don't go back. It's as simple as that. We don't buy from rotten eggs. We don't go to their shows. I'm not even a firm believer in blocking. I don't even block a lot of people. So, all right, we got a couple of pre-bids, and I've left these people waiting for way too long. So let's go ahead and do these pre-bids so that people don't keep people waiting. The first one is this really cool little apple apple sugar bowl. So it is an apple. The lid comes off. It is a ceramic piece, and it comes with a little spoon. And I think the spoon is ceramic too. My husband's going to have to tell me. I don't quite remember off the top of my head. It is. All right, so he's going to show you, and I'll
Yes,
go
it
ahead
is.
and run it. Shipping is $4.50 today, max shipping. So a little ceramic spoon. Can you show the bottom of that apple, please? Kind of turn it around, show them there's no chips or cracks. I don't know who makes it. There's no marks on it. And the inside's nice and clean. And we're going to go ahead and run that. That is up and going. I'm going to grab my things that I'm dropping on the floor over here. And shalom. Thank you so much. That is going to you. I appreciate it. The last pre-bid we have today is the Avon Glass Bird. We're going to throw this up as a little tea light. I like birds and I like anything that glitters and glows. So there we go. We got the best of both worlds wrapped up in one. No chips or cracks. It is Avon. I'm pretty sure it has an Avon marking on the very bottom of it. If I remember right, I would check if I were at home. It does. It says Avon right there. And that guy is up and going. And you could put a little tea light. It can also be used to hold like rings. It could be a trinket dish if you don't want to put a candle in there. And Shalom, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, did I miss any questions? Yeah, for some reason, if anybody knows, I've got a lot of red chats. Porch Goose gets red chatted. I have zero idea why. That's kind of surprising because I don't know. I have my neighbor. My neighbor has a porch goose and she changes its clothes on a regular basis. It's kind of entertaining when I'm driving down the street. So the community is everything here. Yes. Oh, really? Donuts get muted
Nine.
too.
9 donuts. Yes, be more thrifty.
Huh. There's so many words that get red chatted. I'm just amazed. I wouldn't even think of half of these words. But of course, that's why that's the whole appeal of Southern Charm and I Love Discounts coming in to make me blush during my shows because there's so many things that I just would never even. There's a certain part of me that's very naive to an extent.
And Shalom, I owe you this.
All right. You guys, I think, how long have we been on? Yeah, we've been on for a while. I think we are going to go raid pretty soon here. So we've gone through all our giveaways. Um, they do all the time. You are mid-sentence. Yes, and then I'm giggling. They do this. So if you guys don't know, I Love Discounts. We've got to meet them in person. We've developed a really great friendship. Southern Charm, we are friends. We're going to meet for the first time in person this weekend. But there's like a, you get your buddies on here, right? You get the people that you kind of just vibe with. And I am probably the most conservative, straight-laced of the group. And so they come on all of my shows to make me blush. And they quite frequently are successful. So I try to ignore when they red chat me, but it doesn't always work. So, oh yeah, the F word does not get red chatted, which surprises me. All right, you guys, we are going to go right. I appreciate you being here. I really do. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It does mean the world to me. Next show is Friday morning is our business and tax show. I will be right here, same room, because I'll still be in this hotel, and we'll do business and tax. We are going to talk about time blocking on Friday, which is really interesting. So this is, to me, the only way that I can manage a full-time job and whatnot. I utilize time blocking consistently, and time blocking. And what's the other thing we're going to talk about?
Yes, Southern Charm.
Time blocking and the home office deduction is our tax topic for Friday. All right, so we'll see you Friday. Have a good rest of your week, everybody. I got to go try to be social now. All right, and my husband's going to send us off with a raid. He gets to pick this time.